Two of cinema's most terrifying creatures, two legendary sci-fi franchises that defined the entire generations of horror and action. But are Alien and Predator finally dying, or are they still just getting started? Or evolving? Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlus Commentary, where we have got another Halloween special where we are diving away from the slashers and classics to a tiny minor different horror that we are used to, where we are covering the Alien and Predator franchises. Now, for those who don't know, these are sort of interlocked into one bit, so that's kind of why I'm doing these both in one video, because as I said, they have crossed paths before, and that most people might know, so I'm interlocking them into one video because they actually do share very similar traits. So let's get into it. So Alien was considered a claustrophobic masterpiece in terms of horror, and many consider Predator to be more of a thriller type survival movie, me included. I was under the impression for a long time that Predator was very much a horror movie. It's not. It is very much, it gives me Jurassic World vibes. That might be the jungle, but that's the kind of vibes I'm getting. And also, I don't think Arnold is more for like the horror movie type thing, and he just kind of brings that such energy to it, so that takes away from the horror aspect. But they are still somewhat thrilling and give you a sense of like, oh, and jumpy. Alien for sure, Predators, there's a fine line between it. Now, for those who don't know, in the collaborative film Alien vs. Predator, it was also confirmed that they both share the same DNA. They are both different, but they work so well together. A lot of people think that movie didn't do well. It did, because if you look at the trajectory, the first couple movies they did by themselves, they did fine. They started to have a couple sequels, it was not that great. And then they had this collaborative film, that's what got them on the map again. After decades of sequels, crossovers, and reboots, do these franchises still have something to say? The first sequel movie was released in 1979 with a very, very original title, going from Alien to Aliens. Plural. I think the dictionary might have helped him out there. And people really liked this expansion of horror into action. And people thought that this direct sequel was a solid follow-up and actually expanded very well on the lore, rather than the testosterone survival movie that we all knew and love from The Predator. I would say that's a very hella typical way to go. Both of these movies had such a devoted fan base because of their strong mythologies. In these movies, they went more into depth about the philosophical stuff about both Alien and Predator. However, Alien did it a bit better with the sequels later down the line, but it was very strong in terms of Predator, that's for sure. These movies also demonstrated amazing practical effects that were still really new at this time, and the atmosphere was very, very strong, and I think that's what really put them on the market in terms of action and horror. Now, that had not really been done before. You had like tiny space stuff like E.T., and then you had like typical action, guns in space type stuff, and then you bring them all together, extraterrestrial guns, spaceships, and then horror into that whole mix. This was relatively new, and that's why so many people were invested in it. I would honestly say it's probably the start of modern Hollywood. However, this did see a decline very quickly after that, though. When it comes to Alien 3 and Resurrection, why they were a thing, I don't know. The reception for these movies wasn't great because there was a lot of creative clashes when it came to directories and producers. When more Predator sequels started to come out, they were following the same song sheet and the same decline that Alien was, and the same thing just happened. This is when they tried bringing the two together with Alien v Predator, releasing two movies in context to both of them fighting each other. I think this was actually a great idea. It was poorly executed, don't get me wrong, especially we're looking at this decades down the line, but it can still work today, no word of a lie. Imagine you had the Transformers and Aliens fight, like, people would definitely pay to see that. Even if it was shit, people would still pay to see that. Fans loved the idea, but hated how both creatures were reduced to a spectacle. Me included. I really liked that movie, but you didn't get a lot of Alien and Predator. And I also think that idea is a bit stupid with a title called Alien vs. Predator.
Well, no fucking shit.
By the late 2000s, both franchises were absolutely alive and electric again, but not exactly in a healthy condition. It really revived it. This Alien v Predator movie definitely revived it, but it wasn't exactly in a healthy state. It was still sick. So they took a break for a while, and then basically we had a modern revival, like 2017, 2018 time, where Ridley Scott wanted to explore different types of alien movies. So we had a philosophical creation called Prometheus and Covenant, two underrated movies, yes, but they were leaning more towards the modernization of Alien, and they also the understanding about their history and how important they are to the franchise. You got more of the history about it. And that, I think, was very important, and I think that's what brought a load of people that were original fans together. Also, integrating stuff like AI and other types of existential fear is what led us to get the Romulus movie. A very new alien movie, but it was what we needed for it to go again.
Oh no, gringe!
Another one was Prey. Prey was a movie that no one actually knew about, and I think that was so well. They had a trailer and everyone, actually no one knew what this was actually about. They thought it was a rip-off, like, Predator movie. It was really good. Prey was praised because of its simplicity and small-scale storytelling, which was a perfect for a revival to me. Now, we have got more Alien TV series and shows coming soon, and potentially a sequel to the Prey movie, depending on the reception of Predator Badlands, which is said to air next week. Now, there is not much to go off with these two characters because they will tell you what's coming within the year. They are quite secretive about that. Now, honestly, I appreciate that. Now, do you think the Alien and Predator franchises should keep going, or should they finally rest in peace? Let me know in the comments below. But without further ado, everyone, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. Got a couple more Halloween specials coming soon, so stay tuned for that as well. But I hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.
Yeah.